Good afternoon, traders. My name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is our daily analytical report. So let's look for decent trading setups on the market. But obviously, first we need to start with the calendar. Calendar is not very busy. So today overnight we had the data from New Zealand retail sales, which came much better than expectations, but this data fails to lift New Zealand dollar, at least on the pair with American dollar, where we have a reversal. Also we had the data from Japan, but the difference from the actual number and the expected number isn't too big, and we are still waiting for the most important events today. So that will be retail sales and that will be FOMC minutes. So those are that data that we are waiting for today. So definitely we should get some volatility on the Canadian dollar to the American dollar. With that being said, let's move to the charts, because actually we do have a few interesting movements here. First of all, I would say that euro to Australian dollar surprised many people because came back above this resistance. So, well, I don't have explanation for that. The only explanation is that it's sometimes it's happening like that. But from the technical point of view, that was a perfect short, and we had the sideways trend for a few weeks, then a breakout, then a test of this resistance of this support as a resistance, and the test was positive for the sellers. The price went lower. We even broke the lower line of the flag. Boom. And from this point the reversal started, quite surprisingly, to be honest with you, not only for me. And then the price went higher, broke the midterm downtrend line, and broke the midterm horizontal resistance here. So that breakout is a false breakout. Yellow area is confirmed to be super important support here, and we do not have this sell signal anymore here. So there is no sell signal on euro to Australian dollar anymore. Next one is Swiss franc to Japanese yen. Also, it was a surprise for me, especially on the daily chart. It is very uncommon after candles like that and like that to have a candle like that. Very surprised. That movement came as a surprise for me, especially if you consider the long-term situation here. So on a weekly chart, double top, support, breakout of the support, test, two shooting stars, breakout from the lower line of the wedge. That was really an awesome trading setup, but the price broke, bounced, and instead of going down, which was anticipated by many, the price failed to go lower and went higher. So that is the situation on Swiss franc to Japanese yen. This support is no longer relevant. This support is more relevant here. Let's do like this. So we bounced from 23.6. Now we're aiming 38.2. The thing is that as long as we stay below the red area, there is still a negative sentiment, but there is definitely no sell signal yet. Sell signal will be triggered once the price will break 23.6, which for now is less likely to happen after this pullback. Australian dollar to American dollar also came back above the horizontal resistance, but the importance of this level is not so big as on the euro to Australian dollar, for example. And here the price is now bouncing from the lower line of the symmetric triangle. The thing is that as long as we stay below the red line, the sentiment is still negative, and that can be considered only as a normal correction. Australian dollar to Japanese yen, that is a major buy signal because it's a false breakout below the green area here. So that is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and right shoulder, breakout of the neckline, flag, come back above the green area, and we should see a further upswing here. That is a good one. Inverse head and shoulder formation, flag, upswing, bounce from the upper line of the flag, creation of the horizontal support here, and as long as we stay above those two green lines, the sentiment remains positive. And gold is testing this midterm downtrend line. We'll see how it goes, this test. The target for this movement is 23.6, maybe 38.2. But first we need to see what is going to happen on this line. Maybe let me change the color here. Let's say orange. So yes, we are aiming the important resistance on the orange line, and we are waiting for the outcome of this. WTI tested this combination of two important resistances here. First one is the neckline of this triple top formation, 1, 2, 3. Second one is the horizontal resistance here. We are below those two. First contact with this area was positive for sellers. Now we have a second contact. Come back below the green line will be an indication of the negative sentiment here. What we have here is a flag. Come back below will show us a negative sentiment, and a breakout of the lower line here will bring us a sell signal with the target at least here. Cable denied this flag and went higher. The price is aiming ultimate horizontal resistance here, marked with an orange color. This is the first Fibo after the downswing. This is the support from here. This is the support from here and here. So now it can play a role of an important resistance. And American dollar to Swiss franc. Swiss franc is gaining value right now. So we do have a breakout of the lower line of the symmetric triangle, lower horizontal support. Instead of price climbing higher, that was this resistance, the price is going lower, and most probably here we will see a further drop. Upswing was more likely to happen, but price chose the otherwise. And euro dollar, yes, that was absolutely huge. From the very beginning, let me explain the situation on euro dollar from the very beginning. So we had this head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. A right shoulder at the same time was a symmetric triangle. Here resistance, here support. Then we broke the neckline. This violet line is a neckline. We broke the lower line of the triangle. We broke the neckline, we went lower. The price created an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder, head and a right shoulder. The price broke the neckline, then used the neckline as a support and went higher. Session on Monday was awesome. Then on Tuesday we tested this neckline. I opened short position there. and I thought that the price gonna decline. The price declined a little bit, but then boom, breakout. So all this is a false breakout below the neckline. A false breakouts usually bring us a movement in the opposite direction. Today we had a small correction, small flag. Buyers were not even bothered to test this as a horizontal support and are aiming higher. So this is very positive for euro. And this is a cancellation of the short-term sell. Those Fibos are no longer in line because we are breaking 61.8. So let's see how deep this correction can go. Now we are aiming 23.6, but real resistance will be on the 38.2 in my opinion. So it will start somewhere here. But after the comeback above this violet line, the sentiment is positive, and that was a beautiful inverse Kane-Shouder formation. And I mentioned this formation on one of our analysis on Monday, that it can bring us a short-term buy. Well, apparently it's not such a short-term buy. It's bigger than this. New Zealand dollar to American dollar. That is also interesting because on a daily chart we broke important horizontal support, then the price created a triangle, then a downswing, and then a pullback. And a pullback is the same size as this correction. So there is a correction quality pattern. Also, we do have this orange resistance here. Actually, when you combine orange and gray, it's green. So we have this green resistance here, which is a combination of those supports and the correction quality pattern. And the first contact with this line brings us a downswing. There is a downtrend, so we should see a continuation of this movement. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. I was talking about possible reversal here after this hammer on a weekly chart. That's a super important horizontal resistance. But as you can see on a daily chart, the price went higher, but now we can see a rejection of this area. Here, rejection of this area, the price is not climbing higher. Maybe it's just a small stop and then the price will climb back. Anyway, daily candlestick closing above this area will be a buy signal. We already had that here, but the thing is, the situation changed a little bit. So after this, sellers are now fighting for the bearish engulfing. If they will fail, it will mean that they didn't use the opportunity, and now it's time for the other side to take the control over. Which will be an occasion for the buyers. Next one is New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar, which is having a small reversal here. You can see that New Zealand dollar is we had an upswing here, but losing all this momentum. So far so good. We are still good. Why? Because there is an inverse Kane-Shouder formation, breakout of the neckline. Now we are testing this neckline as a support, and also we are testing this broken down trend line as a support. So if buyers think about the buy signal, the signal to reverse is now. Any failure here will be dangerous because, as you can see, we are on a super important long-term horizontal support here, and once we will be able to close below those lows, close a week below the gray line, that will be a super strong sell signal. And British pound to New Zealand dollar still locked inside of this symmetric triangle pattern. We are waiting for the breakout, which should give us a proper trading signal. I would prefer a breakout to the actually, I don't see a difference here, so it can go both ways. Okay, today let's check new stuff, new instruments. First we'll start with Bitcoin. Hot topic again because Bitcoin is going higher. Obviously everything is around this ultimate support below $6,000, 5,600, 5,700. What we are having here is another inverse head and shoulder formation. Left shoulder head and right shoulder previously brought us this reversal, and now we're having the same thing. Left shoulder head and right shoulder. Ultimate midterm support for the Bitcoin is here. As long as we stay, maybe let me change the color here. As long as we stay above the orange area, the sentiment is positive on Bitcoin. Anyway, the overall situation is positive as long as we stay above the green. I think that buying Bitcoin with the current price is not the worst idea on the record. Problems will start once the price will break the green area, which for now is less likely to happen, right? Now, that was Bitcoin. Let me show you S&P 500. Why? Maybe you didn't hear why, but look at this. All-time highs. Here we come. So what is going to happen? Are we going to have a double top formation? We will see. But the sentiment is definitely positive here. FTSE is not sharing this optimism. It is okay, but we do not see any potential trading signal here. Let's check DAX. As you can see, European indexes have a problem. They are not using this momentum from the America. On DAX we have a dynamic resistance and a horizontal support, but the situation here is not tradable. Let me show you the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq is doing much better than S&P 500, but beware of this triple top formation. Dollar index, let's check the dollar index situation. And I'll leave it Dow Jones. Nothing. Brent, you already know. Silver, let's check silver. Most recently, downswing, symmetric triangle, downswing, flag, downswing. Unfortunately for the buyers, it does not look like a reversal, but it looks more like a correction. So the correction slowed down. Stronger, strong, weaker, weaker. Most probably we should see a breakout of the lower line of this formation, but everything can happen. As always, market is at some point predictable, but as you could see, for example, here, like here, those movements were very surprising, and really it's not about me, because obviously I can make mistakes, and I am making mistakes, but I'm talking about the general consensus among the price action traders, which I noticed recently about those setups, and most of the guys who are using price action on a daily basis, they saw those setups, they were in favor of those setups, but those setups did not work out. So sometimes it's happening like that. Let's check some major pairs that we missed yesterday because of the lack of the technical situation. Maybe we got something new here, where American dollar to Canadian dollar is going down after this failed attempt to break the upper line of the flag. Then a small double top formation, and that is an invitation to go short, but without a major signal. And then now that's American dollar to Canadian dollar, and now I also wanted to show you American dollar to Japanese yen, which is obviously one of the majors. But what happened here is quite interesting, because left shoulder head and right shoulder, so the price failed to break the, first of all, this downtrend line, and second of all, this inverse head and shoulder pattern. So that is quite negative. Here, that is a negative factor, that buyers did not use this opportunity to climb higher, and maybe after this we should get a further downswing. From the major instruments on the market, let's also look on the euro to British pound, which is on a horizontal resistance. We will see how the situation will finish. There is a chance for this head and shoulder formation, but for this we need to see the breakout. For the sell signal from here, we need to see the breakout of the red line. So let me recap the situation for you. So there is this euro to Australian dollar with a buy signal, maybe a short-term sell and then a buy. So the sell signal got cancelled entirely. Here, Swiss franc to Japanese yen, as long as we stay above the green area, there is also a buy signal. Australian dollar to American dollar, as long as we stay above the red area, that is sell. Australian dollar to Japanese yen, that is actually a buy signal, but watch out for this trend continuation pattern. That can be negative, but as long as we stay above the green area, that is buy. Gold, watch out for sell. Oil, come back above the breakout of the orange line, that will be a sell signal. Cable, that's most probably a buy towards the orange area. American dollar to Swiss franc, that's sell. Euro dollar, that's buy. New Zealand dollar to American dollar, still sell. Here, Australian dollar to Canadian dollar, that's a possible sell. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar, that is now we're on a crucial place. Buyers, to keep the buy signal alive, they need to stay above this area. And there is a British pound to New Zealand dollar inside of a symmetric triangle pattern. We need to wait for the breakout. There is a Bitcoin with a buy signal, because we're breaking the neckline of this inverse head and shoulder pattern. And there is a silver with most probably a sell, but wait for the breakout of the lower orange line. There is American dollar to Japanese yen, in my opinion, with a negative sentiment because of those failed buying opportunities, and euro to British pound without a position for now. That would be it. So market, those movements are pretty weird for me. I entered the stage when market is not following most of the price action principles, so we have a lot of false breakouts. So I'm not gonna spend more time on analyzing this. I don't want to do any harm to anybody. Sometimes you need to say like, okay guys, I don't know what is going to happen, and look for another trading opportunities. If now we'll have a short break, half an hour break, and after that we'll have a webinar about the MetaTrader 4, so I will show you how to use this platform. In the meantime, you have to visit our Twitter account and our website allparty.news and our YouTube channel and our Facebook page for more analytical content. So thanks very much. Remember that trading and investment in financial markets involves an element of risk. All the best, guys, and see you in a bit on a webinar about the MetaTrader 4 platform.